Hotep Senu Hena Senut Iti Ren I Shaka Dugu Kemet. Now, there's something quite amusing. We have the cultural theorist who wants to holler at a PhD in linguistics. You can tell from his voice that he's hurt because his main source of inspiration for his riparian land, riparian country hypothesis is getting destroyed by day. The PhD in linguistics has shown plenty of flaws from Jean-Claude Mboli. I don't have anything against Jean-Claude Mboli, but he is not a linguist. So, since that was a main source of inspiration for them trying to claim that in the word Kemet, the word Kem doesn't mean black, the cultural theorist is not happy. And you're gonna hear him, and it sounds like he's gonna slip up. Because for the longest, we have seen how this flip flopper and his crew have been claiming that Kem doesn't stand for black in the word Kemet. The PhD in linguistics has addressed those words, and you will hear the cultural theorists trying to put that back on the PhD in linguistics, just like when I spoke to the homie and I told him that, over 10 years he hasn't changed. He told me later on, well, that I haven't changed one iota. He's lacking inspiration. So apparently he's trying to put himself at the same level as another PhD in linguistics, because we heard previously when he spoke to Dr. Obadele Kambo that he claimed to have studied linguistics formally and that he also studied physics. And for the record, just so that you know, it's not an allegation.
Between a law in linguistics and a law, for example, physics, is that with a law.
Are you a physicist? Do you study physics, for example?
I do study physics and I study science. And so,
have you studied linguistics formally?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
So let's listen up. I'm planning on listening to this live stream. I'm planning on skipping the part about Walter Williams because, but apparently there's gonna be some more claims about Sudan and the Black Land. But as you can see, the live stream is 7 hours and 59 minutes, so that's really 8 hours long. So I don't know how long it will take me. But as I scrolled through the video, I ended up on that part, and it's just, really amusing to me. So let's listen up.
Like I heard, what's his name, Asar Imka, still making the argument that we're saying that there's no word Kim that means black in the ancient Egyptian language. After it has been put on paper, after we've had show after show saying that that's not what we're arguing, this Negro still. That's why I'm just like, I just wonder, like, what's the comprehension? Like, what were they like in high school? What were their grades like? This, because you just cannot not have that much of non-comprehension, in terms of what the actual arguments are. And we'll have whole shows arguing nothing. And then, for example, you have Capo Chichi, who's a bona fide linguist, making ghost words in his whole on his blog arguments, talking about there's a word Kemet that means black in the language. There is no word Kemet that means black in the language. There's only Kim.
There is no word Kemet that means black in the language. There's only Kem. It's funny. You can go on Smash Rockwell's YouTube channel. The video, I believe, is entitled Black Egypt, Ancient Egyptians Calling Themselves Black. And for over 3 hours, the cultural theorist and Willie Lynch Wuja, colorism Wuapian, have been arguing that came after a name is a title, that it doesn't have to do with black, that it's not dealing with black. They argue that it's a title, that it's a titulary. Flip-flopping once again.
You will not find in any dictionary the word Kemet that means black. In any dictionary.
They're trying to defend their book so hard. That same Kem that they claim is a title, the I6 glyph, according to Gardner's reference, is the same one that we have in the place name Kemet. Piece of charcoal or crocodile skin, crocodile scale. But magically, in the word Kemet, it doesn't stand for black, because they want to push that it means riparian land, riparian country. Flip-flopping.
Whether you're talking about, Baruch, whether you're talking about Maspero, Champollion, Budge, Ermin and Grappa, Hanning, Vigus, it doesn't exist. But he wants to talk about ghost words.
Yeah.
And this was the challenge that we put up to Adrian, aka Star MCOT, 3 years ago. Find us a word, Kemet, in any dictionary that means black, and it has to have the T suffix. I'm still waiting for that challenge to be answered.
That was a Mission Impossible challenge that the message was going to self-destruct.
I don't think that anyone who takes 3 hours to claim that came after a name doesn't deal with the color black, but that is a title, and cannot demonstrate that over 3 hours, only to admit after 3 hours that he can. I don't think that any such person is in a position to make fun and laugh at somebody else addressing the challenge that was made allegedly 3 years ago. When you cannot even demonstrate your own premise, it's sad. But it is what it is. See, those guys, if they will engage with people in a respectful manner, then maybe their eyes will be open. But the sad thing is that the same way Walter Williams is, they are exactly the same way. They have a claim, and as far as they're concerned, their claim is correct. And anybody that doesn't agree with their claim doesn't understand. What they love to do is talk to neophytes or talk to people who agree with them. If you don't agree with them, particularly the cultural theorist, he's going to get very irritated, and he's going to tell you that you have comprehension issues, that you're not making any sense. You heard him talking about, oh, I wonder how he was with his grades. And I'm going to close out. But this guy who's trying to holler at the PhD in linguistics, when he spoke to Dr. Obadele Campbell, he mentioned reconstructing a living language. And that's the dude who's going to tell others you don't understand linguistics. But some of you might not know him. He used to call himself a linguist, but that fraud is over now. He's the guy who plagiarized several books in several different languages. Still hasn't addressed that. Still hasn't come correct about that, but he wants to holler at other people. So, in case you didn't know him, let him introduce himself to you.
Ridiculous Asar Imhotep. First of all, let's get to know Asar Imhotep. Listen for yourself.
Did you go through any kind of hazing process, bro?
No, I pledged. Yes.
Okay, so you went through a hazing process.
No, I pledged. There's a difference.
Okay, so as you went through the hazing process, did they slap you on the ass with a paddle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. So you bent over, you grabbed your ankles, and that paddle was smacking that ass.
Basically.
Okay.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text. The god Allah is an indigenous African god. These Hebrews, come from and who they are specifically, because based upon my research, these are African people. And this is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language. Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the prefix sound in there, in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F, in English. It's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all in Indo-European. Is in every African language.
What I'm telling you is that Hebrews existed in North Africa, in Egypt. They existed in Somalia. They exist in Senegal. They exist in Mauritania. They exist. They even exist Minoa and Minoa Crete. You can read Dr. Yosef Ben Levy's article on the Hyksos, and he provides some very good information on who the Hyksos were. But as far as black is concerned, I wouldn't deem them black folks. But your Hebrew, original Hebrews, yes, because linguistics and the historical records say so. And you still have Hebrews. Fulanis are black as hell. The Afar are still black as hell. Your Abaroros are still black as hell.